Chancellor Patton, Provost Young, distinguished members of the Platform Party, family and friends of the graduating class, and most importantly, the class of 2024. Good morning and congratulations. Joannah and I are deeply honored to be here. And one of the benefits of being up on the platform is that we get to look at all of you, and it is really very inspiring. At the individual level, we see your dedication, the knowledge that you have gained, hopefully some fun times and great friendships along the way. At the collective level, it's very powerful to think about you as a group and the thousands of other graduates passing through this hall, not just this June, but over decades, and to imagine what this generation will do and the impact you will have. And so to that end, Joannah and I are delighted to have the opportunity to share some thoughts about who has inspired us and about making an impact. My late uncle, Michael Wilson, was an inspiration to me. A brief background on Mike. He attended University of Toronto, Trinity College, and he went on to have a successful career in the financial industry. He then moved into politics and became Finance Minister of Canada. He's recognized as being one of the best finance ministers we've had. His son, Cameron, tragically suffered from depression, which ultimately took his life. And Mike then became a tireless advocate for mental health, playing a leading role in removing the stigma that surrounded mental illness at the time. Mike also served as chancellor at Trinity, and then at U of T, preceding our esteemed Chancellor Rose Patton. It was a very full life, and Mike lived it with grace, integrity, and respect for others. And what always struck me was that Mike was active and had impact in three areas: in his business career, in public service, and as a volunteer. And they all matter, and that is the first thought I'd like to leave with you today. Keep all three areas in mind as you go forward in life: what you do for a living, how you engage in civic life, and your volunteerism. They all are opportunities to make a difference, to have impact. And the second thought, which is really an extension of the first, is that to focus your greatest efforts on opportunities that tick three boxes. Think of it as a Venn diagram, and the three circles are what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and where you can make a difference. And those are the opportunities that you will find the most rewarding and where you will have the greatest impact. And my third and final thought is this: we're facing a number of unprecedented challenges. Our health as humans, both mental and physical, the health of our planet, climate change, and the health of our society. And by this last one, I mean this: how do we put civility back into civic society? Our political processes, social media, how do we encourage people to be respectful of other opinions and backgrounds and have conversations and not to simply talk across each other? If we're going to address climate change and many other of these great issues, and I believe we will, we need to be able to have those so-called adult conversations. So what's your role? How do you have impact? It can all seem very daunting. I'd say this: please do not understand the impact and influence that each and every one of you have today and will have for the rest of your lives. You are smart. You are motivated. You wouldn't be sitting here today if you weren't. And you have aspirations. Impact will happen through government policy, corporate strategy, NGOs, systemic change, and technology solutions. And you're going to have opportunities to participate in many of those through your careers, through your public service, and through your volunteerism. But at the same time, these three issues I mentioned, human health, climate change, social civility, they all turn on the individual and everyday habits and mindsets of many individuals and communities. And all of you will have the opportunity to lead change every day with how you live your lives. The choices that you make, what you buy, how you vote, the words you use, showing respect for others and showing respect for yourselves. That is leadership. So think of how you want the world to be and exemplify that yourself. People around you will notice, and that can be the greatest impact of all. Thank you.
Graduates, as you look toward the next stage of your lives, I have a question for you. What inspires you? What motivates you to get up in the morning? For me, it's coffee initially, but after that may be true of some of you as well. After that, what inspires you to do your best work? For some, it could be the awesomeness of nature and feeling compelled to protect it. For others, it could be the arts. For others still, it could be addressing societal issues such as poverty. I would also suggest people can be a huge inspiration. We are, after all, social creatures. We affect one another. Our negativity or excessive criticism can bring others down. Conversely, our thoughtful interactions and living by positive example can be a beacon of hope. Since I lead a foundation focused on addressing climate change, some days I'm understandably overwhelmed. And I imagine some of you may feel that way about the problems you hope to address. I suggest you do your homework. Oh, sorry, that may still be a dirty word. Let me rephrase that. I suggest you do your research to find out who's already working on the big issues and opportunities in the world. You may be surprised to find out how much progress is already underway. So this brings me to my first piece of advice. Find out who is already working on the issues you care about most and find a way to contribute, either by working directly with them or by building on their work. Don't reinvent the wheel. But if you find no one is working on it, lead the way. But take note, leading doesn't mean going it alone. Lead with the humility to know you cannot have all the answers, so partner with others. I draw inspiration from others, and I continue to meet so many incredible people, especially through my work. What I've learned is the world is full of awesome people doing vitally important and good things. And I'm going to tell you about one of them. Some of you may guess who I'm speaking about. This person grew up on an island off the coast of Newfoundland in an outport fishing village in a home without any electricity or running water. Their community was the economic victims of the collapse of the codfish stocks, upon which they were entirely dependent. Her father encouraged her to go to university to try and learn to help contribute to a solution. Not only did she go to university and get a degree in finance, she went on to become the chief financial officer of a huge fiber optics company. Can you imagine growing up without even the basics of electricity and becoming an executive at a fiber optics company? But what inspires me most about her story is what she did next. She took most of her income and created the Shorefast Foundation and created social enterprises such as the Fogo Island Inn and helped to rebuild a local resilient community economy. If you don't know of her yet, this is Zita Cobb, and she inspires me. There are others in my life who inspire me too, especially our own children. Alexander, who is graduating with you today, his brother Tristan and sister Jillian, who are also here for the celebrations, they inspire me. Inspiration can also come from surprising places and too often be missed because we're preoccupied with the day-to-day, which brings me to my second piece of advice. Start each day by setting an intention to look for inspiration. If we want to see the awesome and amazing in the world, we have to prepare ourselves to receive it. So to recap, look for others doing good things and look for ways to contribute by building on their work, excuse me. And if you don't find these people, build a coalition of partners and lead the way, and set an intention to look for inspiration. You have achieved so much to be at this point in your lives today. As you draw inspiration and collaborate with others, I'm so excited for you to step boldly forward and live your purpose. Thank you.